One evening, while driving to my parents' house at dusk, I had to stop my vehicle as deer began to cross the road in front of us. As we waited for them to clear the road, my family and I counted over 10 deer on either side of the road. That was just the ones we could see. It would not have been a big deal had we been in the country, but we were on Cox Road just north of Chesterfield Village, not far from the Kansas Expressway Battlefield Road intersection. Later, when talking to my father, he informed me that he sees several deer in that area all the time. He's also seen them in his neighborhood and people's yards. I called and spoke to a Missouri Conservation Department agent about the problem and was told that the city of Springfield would not allow the removal of deer within the city limits. The agent also told me that they knew of the large number of deer in that location. She explained that when conducting flyovers in Springfield to count the deer herd within city limits, in several areas there's a larger than recommended population of deer in several neighborhoods. As residential housing expands in urban areas, the number of deer living inside the city limits will only increase. My objective is to persuade the audience in the need for increased deer management within the city limits of Springfield. Also, the audience needs to understand the problems associated with uncontrolled deer populations in urban areas, what has caused the problems, and a call to action for simple solutions to the problem. First, I'd like to tell you a problem associated with large urban deer population. According to the Springfield Greene County Health Department website, the most common form of death for urban deer is vehicle collisions. On October 2012, State Farm press release states that chances of hitting a deer in the state of Missouri is 1 in 116. The national average is 1 in 171. The 2012 article on Insurance Journal's website informs us there was an estimated 1.23 million deer vehicle collisions that occurred in the U.S. between July 1st, 2011 and June 30th, 2012. They also noted that deer collisions caused about 200 fatalities annually. The number of deer-related claims paid out by State Farm has increased 7.9% in the last 4 years. Another concern of overpopulation of deer is health issues. The University of Missouri Extension tells us that deer are frequent hosts of the black-legged tick. Black-legged ticks are the primary species that transmit Lyme disease. Deer enjoy eating the shrubs, trees, and plants in your yard as much as you enjoy looking at them. The Missouri Conservation Magazine claims in a 2003 article that deer find manicured lawns appealing. Deer thrive for ornamental plantings, fruit-bearing trees, and shrubs that dominate the landscape. Now I'd like to describe some of the causes for the rising deer population. Residential housing expanded in the form of deer habitats. The Missouri Department of Conservation brochure reports that one of the reasons for increased deer numbers in urban areas is the lack of predators. The brochure also declares that vehicles and disease are the only factors that control deer in urban settings. Springfield has a city ordinance to restrict the NBC's ability to manage wildlife within city limits. The NBC brochure proclaims that studies have shown that deer populations could double in as little as 5 years if nothing is done to counter reproduction rates. Residents unaware of the problems associated with overpopulation can welcome deer until problems arise. These are just a few of the causes of deer overpopulations. Next, I'll go over some simple solutions and their benefits. The Urban Deer Action Committee was organized to look at the extent of the problems and recommend a solution to Springfield's urban deer. The committee concluded that the archery hunting was the best method for controlling the urban deer. A large number of hunters will pay for the opportunity to hunt the deer. Restraints can be put in place such as only hunting from deer stands can require antlers deer to be taken before allowing bucks to be acquired. The issues related to overpopulation will diminish with humane control methods. A portion or all the meat harvested will be donated to share the harvest. According to the Missouri Department of Conservation, in 2012, hunters donated over 317,000 pounds of venison. Approved processors will package the meat, and local sponsoring organizations pick up the venison and deliver it to charitable agencies. Trying to capture and relocate the deer is not an option. Texas Park and Wildlife Publication advises that tracking and relocating deer does not work. 25% of deer will die within the first 2 months. More than 65% will die within 1 year. In my conversation with the NBC agent, she contends that there is 90% mortality rate. Springfield does allow managed hunts at Fells Lake area and Lake Springfield. According to NBC Online in 2012, Fells Lake had a quota of 20 and only 9 deer were taken. Lake Springfield had a quota of 12 and only 6 deer were harvested. A 2011 report on KWAC 3 declares that there are 90 to 100 deer per square mile at Lake Springfield. Fells Lake has 50 deer per square mile. Missouri Department of Conservation like 25 deer per square mile. Although this is a good start, more needs to be done. In closing, I urge you to learn more about the problem associated with an overpopulation of deer. Although most people enjoy seeing deer, no one wants to have one come into their windshield or dying from disease in the backyard. Even though the city is making strides to address the problem, more locales need to be addressed. As housing moves into urban areas that were former habitat for deer. With the Share the Harvest program, the meat could go to families in need. Hunters would be willing to pay for the opportunity to hunt these urban areas. If the deer population problem is not addressed, the lack of predators or hunters, the only way for the numbers to decrease is disease and deer vehicle collisions. Trapping and relocating is not an option. Allowing more archery hunting in these areas is the most humane way to deal with the problem. I encourage everyone to contact the Springfield City Council and recommend that they address this problem.